Shaman King watch this series and even
Shaman King, Fate before the Fate franchise. So I decided to watch Shaman King 2021 reboot to see what exactly the hype was all about. And yes, I do mean a reboot. It means to shut down and restart. So given that the original had 64 episodes and there apparently being more content, in terms of more source material in the manga, I think reboot sounds like the correct way of describing it. If you know me, I'm not exactly excited for this reboot. Shaman King is from one era before me. Growing up, I heard about the show, but going to school, I never heard people talking about it. And now as an adult, the people in my age group still don't care. Like, I recently got a chance to talk to one of my good friends, Mello, who you would have seen before if you've been on my live streams. You know exactly who this degenerate is. So when I was talking to him about, how I was going to watch the first episodes of Shaman King, he had the same reaction I would have had. Cool. I've heard about that show before, but I've never watched it. Keep in mind, Mello is from one generation older than me. This show is a bit of a niche, old mainstream anime. And it was at a time where kids growing up in the West and the Southwest had only about 7 animes to really pick from. So, as you can see, I have no attachment to the series. I watched a couple of YouTubers talk about the show, and honestly, most of them are just full of straight BS. Like, no one has any problems with the show, like, at all? Really? Like, everyone here just is gonna be talking about the show as if it was like, I don't know, an all-time great classic? I mean, cool, whatever. That really gets a bit annoying hearing it though all the time when I look at a YouTube video about Shaman King, but I guess we all have a different opinion. That being said, watching it for the first time, I noticed some things right off the bat. Like this with a electric guitar in the background, ready to go off in like little short bursts at any given moment. Hearing it, the track is trying to get you to smile and like nod your head back and forth, like a lot of the older Saturday morning cartoons would at the time. I'm personally not a fan, but it's not for me. Like the scenes are a lot like from the 90s. It's very nostalgic, but growing up now and hearing some other anime tracks, I've kind of adjusted my ear to the times. But going back, it is very nostalgic, and I would definitely probably be bopping my head and smiling if I was, back in middle school, elementary school watching this anime. The characters are interesting to me. This is because mainly the art style and like a lot of how the head shapes and the hairstyle is drawn. And from the show, I can feel a lot of that heritage of like shamans and the tribal figures, because shamans go back to across the world and way back in time. Personally, I'm not really a big fan of the whole idea of a ghost possessing me and making me fight on their behalf. But whatever, the show still has a uniqueness about it that a lot of people still gravitate towards. Now to the point I really wanted to mention that no one seems to really be talking about in a lot of these videos or really online in general. Being someone who watched Shaman King for the first time yesterday, it's awfully familiar to Fate and Fate Stay Night. I say this because they have a powerful, recognizable spirit that they use to battle with. They are in a tournament with these spirits, with a prize that can alter the world as they see fit. I don't know about you, but that sounds oddly familiar to Fate. If you go down to Fate and look at the recommendations, which recommendations being animes that are, kind of similar to it. Recommendations try to give you similar animes and animes you should also try to watch as well. I'm sorry, but none of these animes are similar to Fate for me. Like the first one. This is there because there's a magical girl in the anime. Yeah, these two are the only ones that could possibly have that niche topic of a magical girl in any way. That's crazy. They really nailed that one. The next one says they are similar because they're a survival game anime. I mean, survival game animes don't necessarily have a distinct category, but there's like 100 of them. So you could pick any of the other 100 survival game animes. I don't know. And then this one, it says they're similar because there's a attractive female that comes to like him over time. That's literally every anime with a tsundere that's ever existed. I'm glad at least on the Shaman King side, they're getting it right by mentioning Fate, but that's enough roasting of my anime list for one day, I guess. I bring all this Fate stuff up because I really do want to give respect to Shaman King, because I feel like Fate was a bit inspired by their work by looking at Shaman King. Shaman King's manga came back out in 1998, while Fate Stay Night's original manga came out in 2005. The game came out in 2004. I say all this to say that I look at Fate as the more interesting Shaman King. Still, Shaman King is Fate before Fate. Shaman King is cool, interesting, and unique, but I can't tell you how many times I've picked up the series and the show and I wind up just dropping it in the same day, in the first episode. And this isn't just me saying this. I've talked to all my friends and none of them have finished Shaman King, but they can recall the best fights from Fate. While the core concepts of the show are oddly very similar to one another, the engagement that they get is night and day. The writing that is put behind them is honestly night and day. Now, this is the first episode of Shaman King, the new Shaman King, Shaman King 2021, but it's not going to be that different. And I've seen videos saying how they've messed up Shaman King, and I'm just like, what do you mean? It's the first episode, second episode out. I looked at both the first episode of Shaman King, the original, and the new one. What are you talking about? You're crazy. Of course, I say this now, and people are going to be like, I don't know anything, right? And you know what? I don't know anything. You're right. But what I do have is the original episodes right here. So let's find out how much different it is over the course of the 52 episode it's going to be airing for. And if I come back to this video after all that time, and it's not that different at all, then there you go. I say this not to bash on Shaman King, but to give some much needed perspective in the seemingly one-sided Shaman King debate. Yeah, I think my general opinions about the anime is still more or less the same as when I picked it up. I don't see this being one of my favorite animes of the split or the year, but that's okay. This one's not for me. This one's for the older fans that grew up watching it, who want to give their childhood anime to a younger audience and have them appreciate it the same way they did. But let's not boost this anime up like we do some other animes. Let's calm it down a little bit. Alright, I'm glad you came here to join me for the outro. As you can tell, I'm not dead. I'm still here, I'm still making videos. Editing just takes a bit of time, just how it is. General, but you know, editing, life. I hope to be making some more videos later on in the future. I don't really know exactly when this video is going to be finished edited and, you know, sent out to everybody else, but hopefully maybe a week from now, 2 weeks from now, it gets put out. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Appreciate you come by to watch the video, show support. If you do like the video, make sure to like it as well as comment. I found that to be the best thing I can get for a video. Not even subscribers, really just the likes or the comments I get from them. Really knowing what you guys want to see is also always a big plus. And then it's just me of knowing when to put it down or when to make the video for it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Make sure to follow me on my Twitters and Instagrams and whatnot. If you do want to message me, I would say the best way to get in contact with me, what people like to do is message me on Instagram. Facebook's kind of messed up. I don't like using it, but Instagram works pretty well. I kind of hate Twitter. So if you don't want to just like comment on the YouTube videos or you're tired of doing that, feel free to go and just check out the Instagram. Other than that, that's it.